Hello everyone and welcome back to Sepia Tears Day 4 Footprints. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be in for today, but we do know Lillian knows about Mark's past as well as Myra. Talks in really random circles. It's a little irritating, but let's see what happens, I guess, in this day. What do tears leave behind? Trail of salt water for one. Salty sadness, but there's more. There comes a point when tears dry. When try as you might, they just won't come anymore. After that, there's a lot of emptiness. It's the same as before, of course. She doesn't move. Her mouth flicks open from time to time, but her words are silent, her thoughts invisible. Warm feeling trickles down my cheek, but I'm relieved. Emptiness much scarier than sadness. Oni-chan. Silence. Oni-chan. It's alright, Rin. I'm up. Huh? Mark, are you feeling alright? After something like that, I don't think I'm in a mood to talk. Silence. Silence. Wait, that voice. Oh, crap. She is so weird. Morning. You've got to be kidding me. You look like you've seen a ghost. Were you having a bad dream? You. What are you doing here this early? Wait, that's the least of my problems. And why are you climbing through my window? Pardon the cliche, but you left it unlocked. You were just inviting me to come in. And how exactly did you know that it was unlocked? Easy. I checked. Myra's becoming more and more of a mystery. Silence. Oni-chan, are you up? You'll be late for school. Rin's voice comes from the kitchen below. Uh-oh. Traitor! What are you talking about? You're not supposed to have other girls in the house. What happened to our promise? Promise? I'm confused already. She's my sister. Wait, didn't you already know that? Shoot, you caught on. You mean you did all of that to make me think you were the victim of some cliche rom-com misunderstanding? Kinda. You're scary. You know that? Oh, I can be much scarier. Oni-chan, I told you, we'll be late. Do you mean to come up there again? Ha. So, what's it gonna be? Will you leave me for your sister even after I came all this way to see you? No, of course not. But, what do you mean? Are you afraid of her? Of course not. I just... Silence. Don't tell me you're into that sort of thing. Sort of thing? Ah. I don't know if anybody else caught on, but I did. I'll leave you to figure it out. What are you thinking? Mark, are you on the phone? I told you, we'll be late if it takes any longer. Well, this is quite the predicament, isn't it? It doesn't help that you're giggling at my misery. That's true, but at least I'm not making noise. Gotta be careful. Careful of what? Not getting caught when you break into people's homes? I was thinking more along the lines of letting your innocent little sister discover what her Oni-chan gets to when the lights go out. But you just got here. She doesn't know that. But, oh, you're blushing. I'm not. I reach for my pillow to toss it at this otherworldly intruder, but she dodges and watches it fly out the window. I stop looking so happy about it. Now, shouldn't you be pleased to have someone like me wake you up? I'd rather not have this mysterious teleporting girl sitting in my window, thank you very much. I lunge forward and grab hold of Myra's wrist. Wah, don't push me, Amini. I'm not pushing you, I just don't want you to disappear at the last second, leaving me to explain why I was talking to myself all morning. Oh really? Are you sure this isn't just an excuse to take my hand and pull me onto your bed? Oh, Mark, you diggity doggy dog. Like anyone would do that. I promptly let go of her wrist. You know, there's no need to get so worked up. Any healthy person would. Wah! What happened? Ow, did you just... Hey, you weren't supposed to actually pull me. I didn't, you fell. Put on some proper clothes, pervert. Hey, you're the one sneaking into my bedroom. Ow. Silence. She's back in the window. Ahem, as I was saying, it's time for you to choose. Will you stay with your sister or come with me? And no, you can't have both. This might well be a life or death situation. What should I do? Wait a minute. I just carefully read this and look at the second option right here. I don't care for childhood friends or not. Sneaking through windows is my thing. What exactly did Myra say they were childhood friends? A little consistency error? Maybe. Just might be. Okay. But I guess we'll leave that for another time to think about that. Let's choose. Well, she did come all this way. I'll run off with Myra before Rin notices I'm gone. I might end up regretting this, but... Well, seeing as you came all this way, I guess we could go somewhere. Really? Thanks. You're the best, Oni-chan. Myra jumps from the window and lands on me, knocking me back onto the bed. Ouch, what was that for? Is everything alright up there? I know we joke about daydreaming habit, but this is a bit much. That's not good. Uh-oh. See what you made me do? I try to muffle my voice, but we can't keep talking here for long. It's not my fault if you like to wake up early and talk to yourself, even when it's clear that no one else is in the room. Glare. Just stay quiet and it'll be fine. Alright, fine, as long as you promise to come with me. Myra reluctantly gets up and returns to her perch on the windowsill. Turn around, I need to change, don't I? Aww, you're awfully shy for a guy, aren't you? My face turns hot out of either embarrassment or anger. If you don't turn around right now, I'll never forget to lock my window again. Alright, I'll do it. Just don't take too long, it's cold out here. As tempted as I am to say, your fault for not using the front door, I hold my tongue and reach for my school uniform. Are you done yet? I think one of your neighbors saw me. Then get out of the window. But then close your eyes, I don't know. Just don't attract any attention. Mark, are those footprints on the stairs? Crap, let's go. There's an art to jumping through windows. I won't ask. Really, there's a trick to it. It goes like this. Be careful. My voice shoots through the open window as Myra hurriedly climbs out. Don't worry, it's just one story, and there's a railing to land on. That's not what it's meant for. Oh, come on, just try it, it's fun. Fun? You call jumping out of bedroom windows fun? But I don't have much of a choice. Here goes. This is weird. I'm not exactly certain what's going on here. My foot catches the hard surface of the railing with a fair amount of force, but it isn't enough to hurt me, and with my remaining strength, I propel myself to the side and land on the ground with both feet. That actually wasn't so bad. See, I told you it would be fun. It's only fun until you break your leg. I've been doing this for years, and I still haven't broken anything. Wait, you've been doing this for years? I knew she was a stalker. No time to chat. We're off. Wait up. Myra grabs my arm and pulls me into the unknown. I get the feeling I'm going to be late for school. Where are we going? Oh, we're back in the park. Maybe. You'd think I would complain about the weather, but it isn't so bad today. If only we were like this yesterday when we were traveling to Lillian's place. Lillian. Shoot, I wasn't supposed to think about her. Focus. Mark, something the matter? No, I was just thinking about something pointless. More importantly, what are we doing here? With Myra standing comfortably at my side like an old friend, I find myself in front of a city park. Except that it's the middle of winter. Who goes to the park in the winter? It's a playground, can't you see? I know it's a playground, I'm asking why we're here. Because there's nowhere else to go, I suppose. Fair enough. We're already skipping school and jumping out of windows, why not spend a morning near a snow-covered playground? Myra clears the snow off a bench and directs me to sit down. Wait right there, there's a convenience store nearby. I'll pick us up something to drink. You sure? I wouldn't mind going with you. No, it's alright, I know the owner. That isn't much of a reason, but okay. I'll be back in a moment, alright? Oh well. I sigh a resigned sigh and take in a deep breath of crisp air. I've got to admit, this park sure looks nice covered in all the snow. It's already time for the holidays. Christmas, eh? I think Rin will be with Lucas and some of their other friends, so if I wanted to do something, I could. Rin will be with Lucas. Is Rin close friends with Lucas? Because that was never mentioned in the previous days. But do what? I think about it idly for a moment. She stands beside me and our hands are linked, but we hardly feel anything through gloves and mittens. It's an idle daydream, I know, but it feels real. More real in my head than in reality anyways. I turn to her, heart pounding and... What? Silence. I'm back. This whole thing looks suspicious to me. It's making me think that the memories Mark lost in the past was him and Lillian were dating, and Myra sort of came in and basically stole him away. Like something around those lines. That's what I'm thinking right now, but obviously I could be wrong. We'll see what happens though. Snapping to my senses, I spot Myra running back with a pair of juice boxes in her hands. Juice boxes? Here, take one. Don't take this the wrong way, but is this the best you could come up with? I was kidding, but she looks like she's seriously offended. But juice is good. It's tasty, healthy, and refreshes the body and mind. I can give it a shot. I pull the straw out of its container, pierce through the foil coating, and sip. Peach. Yep, it's my favorite. It's strong. Yes, it's highly concentrated peach juice filled with as much pulp as physically possible. Incredible, isn't it? Ugh, pulp. It's gross. Why do I talk to you? Because you can't resist. God damn it. So pulpy. Seriously? I used to love these when I was a kid. Were you possessed by a devil when you were a kid? You don't have much faith in my taste buds, do you? Not at the moment, no. Sitting on a park bench on a school morning in the middle of winter, talking idly about meaningless things without a trace of awkwardness in the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that we were childhood friends. He said they were childhood friends in the choices when we had to decide whether to go with Rin to school or run off with Myra. It's a little confusing right now. So what were you like as a kid, Myra? Me? Trying to think of a way to avoid the question? Kinda. Well, at least she's honest. Alright then, I won't bother asking about your past. It's obviously something you don't want to talk about. Don't get used to it. I'm just not in the mood right now. Since we're already spending our morning here instead of doing what we should be doing, we might as well make it count, right? Myra finishes a thick mass of pulp she calls juice. I take a sip of it. You know, I think I like you, Mark. Any guy who can warm up to a stranger after only a couple days has to be a good person. They're strangers? Thought they knew each other. Did you just compliment me? Well, you would also have to be naive and careless, and probably disloyal too. You're a horrible person. Why, thank you. I swear this girl is... Silence. You're thinking something along the lines of this girl might be weird, but she's actually kind of nice now that I'm talking to her, right? Nope, definitely not. Spot on. Well then, what were you thinking about? I was thinking that you're surprisingly good at making conversation, even when you barely know someone. Ah, really? I never used to be good at this stuff before. She abruptly stops, the last puff of condensation disappearing into the sky. I mean, having trouble? You're a strange guy. Do you hate me? What's that supposed to mean? Silence. Are you serious? No, of course not. You'd never hate someone like me, right? Sorry about that, I'm being weird. I'm usually not weird. Could have fooled me. You know what I mean. Anyway, let's change the subject. Well, we have nothing to talk about, remember? That's not true, we can talk about you. Me. What makes you think there's anything interesting about me? You'd be surprised. I mean, there's only one way to know for certain, right? So let's start. Do you want an autobiography? Not exactly. Let's start with something simple like... I know. What kind of stuff do you do at school? Well, nothing right now, seeing as I'm skipping for the first time this term thanks to someone. You don't have to be here if you don't want to be. You know what I mean. I don't know. School's normal for us. We show up, attend classes, do homework, write tests, and eventually we arrive at the summer holidays. That's it? Pretty much. Then, what are you studying? Do you have any particular aspirations? Nah, not really. I'm not an aspiration kind of guy. It's going to be tough for you in the future then. Straight to the point, I see. To be honest, I think I respect the fact that you're not looking for too much out of life. You just called me a simpleton, didn't you? You're simple, but not really in a bad way. So you're not denying it. That's not the point. I think it's nice that you can appreciate the finer details in life and not aim for anything too grand. It's intriguing. You're the first person that's ever said that to me. Really? I thought it would have been a pretty common opinion. It isn't. Trust me. Everywhere I go, people are always telling me that I aim too low, that I don't have any real direction. But lack of direction doesn't necessarily mean you're lost. It just means that you're making your way to the finish without taking any preset route. The conclusion's always the same. Not bad. I never expected that much from you. You really don't have much faith in me, do you? Well, even if that were the case in the past, I think it's changed now. I've gained a bit more respect for you. It's practically an insult. But maybe I can accept it as a compliment. At any rate, school isn't a big deal for us, it's just something that students put up with because we have to. And I'm definitely not the only one without a goal. I see, but don't your friends bother you about it? From my experience, yeah, it bothers them alright, or at least, it definitely bothers one of them. You haven't changed, Mark. So she does know Mark from the past. These conversations, they always screw with my head. It's so confusing to read everything and try to find solid connections anywhere. You're still... Myra's eyes drift to the ground, lost in a deserted wintry paradise. The cold wind stings at my heart. I told you I'm fine. There's no need to worry about me. I told you. No, I didn't tell her anything. It's just a topic that I instinctively avoid. You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry. We danced around each other, tiptoeing on thin ice. Without warning, Myra pulls out a pocket watch, one of the old-fashioned ones with elegant designs etched into the metal, and checks the time. This has been fun, but I've really got to go. My school is less lenient than I made it sound. Before I can ask about the pocket watch, she skips away. Wait, Myra! Normally I'd wait, but I really don't have the time to stick around anymore. I'd like to see you again. Whenever you have time, it doesn't matter. Don't disappear on me. Silly. Didn't we already go over this? Of course I'll find you. With that, she turns the corner and disappears into the snow. And don't be late to school. I shouted those words to an empty park, unsure of why I spoke them. A few minutes after the morning bell finishes its chime, the teacher walks in and my first class begins. Wait, so he wasn't going to be late for school, even though he didn't leave with Rin? Him on time? Either that or he's 10 minutes late. Oh, even Mark finds this weird. I sigh audibly and slow to my chair. Lillian. Of course. She'll be here, won't she? And after everything that happened before, I'm not sure what to say to her. Silence. Oh, looks like the class is beginning. Guess I better try to pay attention today. The key word being try. Lunch arrives before I realize it. Yeah, this whole paying attention thing doesn't really suit me. More importantly, I've got to track down Rin and Lucas and ask about what they were doing the other day. Do you understand now? That is why the ratio is so important. I see. This isn't the first time I've said this, but you're a strange guy. Lily and Lucas are in their usual spot talking about something. I can hear them from where they're standing, but they can't see me. What? I'm not eavesdropping, I'm just checking my watch. Extremely slowly. It sounds strange to you, but it's a key element of character design. How do you expect to learn to draw if you can't look at things from the perspective of a fan? Well, this was just your impromptu idea. That's not the point. Information like this comes in handy everywhere in life. I'd like to know even a single place where that might come in handy. That's an insignificant detail. Just don't forget 412.5. Is this bust to waist to hip ratio? Dude, is that really it? It's a necessity. Okay, 412.5. That might come in handy in the future. Like, I don't know if there was going to be a choice that reflects that piece of information, but we'll see. I might regret asking this, but do you really find these things that interesting? But of course, 'tis a vital aspect of my existence, and you're not ashamed at all to talk about it. Not in the slightest. Not even to a girl? Well, maybe a little, but I've no need to admit that to you. You weren't planning on saying that, were you? A cunning mastermind such as myself makes no mistakes. Silence. Silence. But occasionally a slip of the tongue does occur. Something strange. I'm not sure what, but you're a strange guy. And I'm not interested in ordinary humans, so I have no complaints. Lillian laughs in reaction, but it's not the same way you'd laugh at a sitcom on TV or a bad pun. You're far more transparent than you think. Has anyone ever told you that? Not in recent memory. Damn it, something's not right. You create an identity by pretending to push reality away, but really you're just... Sorry I'm late. I barged into the hall. Wait, was Mark jealous? Did he see that these two were connecting in a very more intimate way? Is that why he said something was wrong? I wonder. I had to talk to one of my teachers after class. What have you guys been up to? Well, I was just telling Lillian about the ideal ratio of... Never mind that. What have you been doing, Lillian? My only normal friend here. Haha, just the usual. Then let's eat. Studying makes me hungry. I take up my lunch with more vigor than necessary. The others seem to notice that something's off, but... Silence. Never mind. It's lunchtime. That's all. But I remember something as our conversation continued. It's not a complete memory, but it's there somewhere. It happened by chance. Lucas's binder was left lying on the ground, and a small, brightly colored object stuck from the front. It was a bookmark. It was a normal bookmark for the most part, crudely laminated with a plain design. The only notable thing about it was that I'd seen it before. It was lying in Lillian's drawer yesterday, tucked safely away. Silence. I keep telling myself that it's pointless, but I can't shake the feeling that this memory is somehow relevant. Did Lucas give it to her as a present? That might make sense, but then how does he have the same one? It could just be a coincidence, but I know it isn't. It's silly. The thing I'm trying to remember is so irrelevant that I forgot it after only a year, and yet it must have been something important to at least one person for it to be stored away so deliberately. Mark, are you okay? Silence. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just... Alright, just making sure. Anyway, as I was saying... Lillian continues talking, but my mind is too clouded to make any sense of it. Silence. Hang on a moment. That isn't who I think it is it? I turn to look outside and my suspicion is proven correct. At first I'd only seen one, but there are two figures out in the snow. One of them has every right to be there, although she should probably be sitting with us instead. As for the other... Sorry guys, but I'll be back in a moment. Watch my stuff. Is this Rin? Or is it Myra? Or is it someone new? I spring to my feet and dash outside. Well, well, look who decided to show up. Oh, it is Myra. And Rin. Gasping for breath, I catch them before they reach the entrance. That's what I should be telling you. What are you doing here? Nothing in particular. I was bored, so I decided to pay you a visit. At school of all places? I did say I would come back, didn't I? This just proves that I'm not a liar. That's beside the point. Only if you want it to be. What, do you even care about making sense anymore? Don't be mean, Oni-chan. Myra just bumped into me on the way to school and asked for directions. Then we started talking and she ended up following me here. She's just trying to be friendly. And don't you think that's even remotely creepy? More importantly, your sister seems to be quite an interesting person, Mark. Myra puts on a mischievous grin as if she knows something she isn't supposed to know and wants me to know that she knows it. Anyway, what are we idling around here for? Let's grab something to eat. What? I already have a lunch. That's okay. Junk food tastes better. And I have friends to eat with. Don't you want to eat with your precious childhood friend? I'm so messed up. I'm so confused. Who said you were my childhood friend? I did. Now let's go. Oh, wait. Have fun. Wait, Rin doesn't care? This is so odd. So, what exactly are these things? Ooh, I know what those are. Taiyaki? Something like that, right? Jelly-filled, fish-shaped things. I forgot what they're called, but I seen them on an anime once. Just eat it. What's the worst that could happen? You could be trying to poison me. Why would I do something like that? I'm not sure why you do anything you do. Good point. Well, I guess you have to live in fear as long as I'm by your side. Sounds like a dream come true. Myra takes a bite out of the fish-shaped snack. These things creep me out. I'm not sure if I want to know what's inside them. I think I heard Rin talk about these once. Something about a character that really liked them. Oh, and what happened? I think she died. That's disappointing. What made she come back to life or something? I don't know. It's not like that's relevant or anything. Silence. Yeah, I guess not. That was an odd pause. Anyway, what are you waiting for? Surely you don't want to starve out here after voluntarily choosing to skip lunch. I guess in her world, voluntarily choosing means being physically dragged from one point to another. You won't know what it's like until you try it. Take a bite. Fine. Sweet. I know, isn't it great? It's not bad. See? She takes another bite, looking like a kid at a candy store. You're not difficult to please, are you? Are you implying something? No, I'm asking directly. That's not the point. Now do you see how I feel when I talk to you? She devours the last of her snack and hides the fact she's at a loss for words. You look like you don't have a worry in the world. It must be nice. I don't have much to worry about in the first place, right? We can take as much time as we need. Let's smile. It makes me uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm just glad you weren't trying to poison me with this thing after all. I told you, I wouldn't do something like that. The most I try to do is mess with your social life. Is that supposed to be comforting? You're easy to toy with. Ugh. So, Myra, if you don't want to tell me about yourself, then tell me about your past. The distant past even. Why would you ask that all of a sudden? Well, you were talking to Rin, right? She must have asked something about you and I don't think you could have worded your way out of it. Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. True. But still, you must have told her something, right? It's a little unfair that she knows more about you than I do. Myra propped her chin to her fingers. Fair enough. So, where do you want me to start? Now that's a tricky one. I didn't even think she'd agree. Well, what about your life before high school? What were you doing before we met? You don't pull any punches, do you? She grins awkwardly but continues on. Ahem. I'm not sure if I told you this, but I was living in another country a few years ago. It was from the end of junior high to the beginning of the high school. Okay, now I'm curious. Feel free to stop talking when you want, but mind telling me how you ended up in another country? Well, it's a long story. Can wait. I know, but... She sighs audibly. I guess that's the end of it. It's alright. I understand. Sorry for prying. Oh no, there's no need to apologize. It's nice to see that you're being open with me. Shouldn't it be the other way around? You haven't told me much about yourself either. That's because you already used to know all there is to know. I can't argue with that. I smirk unconsciously. It's like I'm talking to an old friend. Well, up to you, but I don't think it's helping us grow closer if you don't tell me anything about yourself. I don't mean to hit a nerve, but... You really want to know? When you put it that way, I'm not sure. If it's important to you, then I can talk. But only if you promise that you're not just doing it out of curiosity. I stare at her and regret sinks in. Sorry. No, I should apologize. It isn't like me to get this serious. You know, even though I haven't known you for long, I think we've talked enough for me to understand just a little bit about you. Silence. I know enough to say that you're not suited to being depressed. Hey, I'm still human. Humans are allowed to be depressed. And how do you explain jumping off the roof and vanishing into the snow? Well, maybe I'm just a special human. A human that can teleport is a human. Why, you shouldn't ruin a girl's dreams. Yep, she's definitely back to normal. You know, you're a lot more childish than I first thought. What, would you rather I act like an elegant lady that lives in a mansion, drinks expensive tea every morning, and goes to prestigious all-girls high school? That was a very specific example. No, I'm not saying it as an insult. I just find it surprising. I think it's kind of nice that you act like this. It makes me feel like I can relate to you. You don't think you can relate to a refined type? Well, no, not really. And I don't think many of us can either. Well, maybe you're right. Silence. Well, that's okay. I'm far from refined, as you can see. Myra brushes her hair aside and her dark expression with it. This is who I really am anyway. Just an eccentric kid who enjoys a quiet night of reading. If that's how you want to put it, then I'm just a weak-willed slacker who would skip school right before exams to talk to a girl he barely knows. Hahaha. It's an odd combination, but I think it works. And that's all that matters. Come on, let's go. The day is still young. She walks up ahead and for once, I willingly follow. It's an odd combination, but I think it works. That phrase remained in my mind as the hours passed. I still remember Lillian's downcast eyes that studied the ripples in her mug of hot chocolate, but that memory is dueling with the strangely captivating performance that Myra is putting on. I can't explain it, but with Myra, it feels as if we've known each other for a really, really long time. But getting attached is dangerous. I check my watch. 2 p.m. School has long since started for the evening, so there's no chance of making it back. Congrats, Myra. You've successfully made me up class. Really? She pulls out an elegant pocket watch and checks the time. What time does lunch end again? 1 p.m. Well, if you want to head back, I guess it's alright. I know you're not exactly a top student, so I wouldn't want you failing on my account. Is she actually being considerate? Well, I probably should head back. But then you'd be all alone, wouldn't you? I suppose I would. I dragged you out of school for a reason after all, so I'd like it if you stayed. So you were just offering to be polite. I guess you could say that. Somehow I'm not surprised. It's fine. I think this was a worthy sacrifice anyway. I mean, sacrifices are important sometimes. That's true. It's like the concept of risk-taking, isn't it? Think about it. No one likes feeling vulnerable, but in sacrificing the comfort of the status quo, you might get something more valuable than what you had before. I suppose you're right. It is, isn't it? But to be honest, that's the kind of thing that only works in economics textbooks. It's like when you buy a patty, but you're too afraid to take the first bite in case it's too hot. Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to, isn't it? Humans are naturally afraid of burning their tongues. Yep, I know more about that than anyone else. Why do I get the feeling you mean that literally? Oh, you mean we weren't talking about food? The city sure is a nice place, isn't it? Myra stretches out her arms and embraces a chilly wind. The sun is already sinking and her light hair is almost glowing. You're almost talking like you're new to the place. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I knew you'd say that. My hands are in my pocket, grudgingly hiding from the cold, but I unconsciously scratch the side of my face. It's always like this in winter though. Even if the snow piles up in the parking lots by February, winter is known to be our most beautiful season. I can see why. It's refreshing. She takes in a deep breath and I feel compelled to do the same. Her cheeks turn red from the cold. That was when it hit me. You're not used to winter, are you? Silence. No, I guess I'm not. It doesn't even occur to me that I'm asking about her past. Well, to be honest, I spent the last few years of my life in a place with very mild winters, but I used to live here before, so it's not a major change. I guess you could say that's nostalgic for me. If you don't mind me asking, why exactly did you leave the country? You don't have to answer, but it sounds like you really didn't want to go. I never had much of a life here. I was different as a child too. I wasn't like you and your sister and your friends at school. I never had to worry about the problems that normal kids face, like homework and friendship and romance. There was nothing tying me to this place, so I left. But I guess that doesn't mean that I was happy to go. Are you happy now? Silence. Sorry, I said too much, didn't I? I didn't mean to make you worry, but I never get to talk about myself, so... But to answer your question, yes, I'm happy now. I'm pretty sure. Then that's all that matters. Slowly, aimlessly, we move forward, footprints following us in the snow. There's something inescapably nostalgic about early winter sunsets. All of those days when the sun sets before 6 and it feels like late evening when you're coming home from school. It's a little bit wistful. How far do you live, by the way? Oh, you know, not that far. Here and there. I should have expected an answer like that from you. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Don't tell me we're back to square one after everything we've talked about. Well, I can't be too open, can I? That would ruin a surprise. I wonder what goes through this girl's mind. Anyway, there's one thing you forgot to calculate this time. Her expression freezes. At last, a weak point. Ahem. Silence. This time. Huh! Silence. Are you going to finish the sentence or not? Sorry, I just want to see how long the suspense could last. I think you pushed it a bit too far. Oh. Sorry. Anyway, as I was trying to say, I was only asking you where you live to make sure you could stay out this late. Oh, wait. You're worried about me? Worried is the wrong word. I'm just concerned. That's the exact same. That's the same thing. Regardless, you might live outside the city for all I know. I wouldn't want you going home too late. It's getting dark, but it's still early. I'll be fine. Yeah, but... Well, you live close enough to get home by yourself, right? I do, don't worry. Although... She just mumbled something. I hate when people do that. Silence. I said. You said. I said I wouldn't mind if you walked me home anyway. Oh. Let's do it. Silence. Oh, well. But it's still early, isn't it? There's no need to think about going home yet. Don't get all serious now. You started it. Either she's doing this on purpose or she's just as nervous as me. My money's on the former. Come on, let's go. You walk too slowly. Alright, I'm coming. How long have you been wandering the streets like this? Maybe a couple of hours. As you said that out loud, did it sound at least slightly ridiculous to you? Not really. Should it have? Yes, of course it should have. Doesn't our aimlessness bug you even a little? As long as you're having fun, right? I suppose. Still, we should probably think of somewhere to go. My feet are killing me. You need to improve your stamina. Huh? You mean you're not tired yet? No, not really. But you hardly seem physically fit. Really? Do I come across some playful, innocent girl with a psychological scar somewhere in her past? Or something like that? When did everyone around become skick? I can't imagine you running laps, but anything's possible. I get that reaction a lot. We had a sports day at school once and everyone thought I wouldn't be able to do a thing for the class. And I'm guessing I know what happened next. I won first place in the 200 meters. Ah, so you're intelligent, sophisticated, and athletic. Don't forget reliable and organized. Right. Don't worry though, I couldn't do housework to save my life, and I always spill the crumbs when I'm eating cookies, so I'm not perfect either. How comforting. I swear, this girl. One of these days you've got to cure that daydreaming habit. Easier said than done. It can't be that bad. Just try focusing more. I can't. My brain is always working. It's like a laptop without a power button. Except it never runs out of batteries. And I calculate 2-digit products without a pencil or paper. Most people can't. You're too easy. Well, at least I'm always thinking about something. Maybe I'm actually a genius and no one realizes it. A genius that's nearly failing second year math? It could happen. Geniuses don't have to be. I was about to say smart, but that wouldn't be very genius-like of me. Don't have to be academically successful to be intelligent. I could just be, I don't know, deep. I hate to admit it, but you might be right. Still, you have to learn to control your mind. A powerful brain is being wasted on a person like you. Just remember, this is the brain that decided to sacrifice a valuable half of school, most likely missing a test or two, to waste the evening with a girl it hardly knows. I never said an unsophisticated brain couldn't be a nice one. Compliment number 2. She still isn't very good at this. Okay, now my feet are really hurting. Isn't that what we were originally talking about? It is, isn't it? The conversation was about to go on another tangent before I realized what she was doing. Come on, even you must be tired by now. Just a little. Score. See, so we should sit down somewhere. Somewhere warm. Well, if you're that tired, I know a place we can go to. I notice Myra limping slightly as she walks ahead. Either your leg is broken, or you're as tired as I am. Silence. Alright, fine. You win. That's what I thought. But I'm not cold yet, so we're staying outside. Is this even an official path? It's official enough. I didn't know officialness worked on a spectrum. From a well-shoveled and salted city sidewalk with stores and lounges and food on every corner, I somehow find myself climbing up a snow-covered hill in the middle of nowhere. I can't even begin to fathom why I trust Myra's idea of a nice place to relax. You know, this is probably dangerous. I used to go here all the time in the past. It'll be fine. It's probably illegal as well. No worries, the police have better things to do than to patrol an old hill in the corner of the city. I have better things to do than to be climbing an old hill in the corner of the city, but I'm still doing it. Well, as long as we don't die, I guess I'm fine with it. We probably won't die, either way you're climbing below me, so I'll land on you if you fall. In other words, You probably won't die. Precisely. Don't worry though, I'm light. I don't think I can kill you that easily. That isn't the problem here. Oh look, that's the top. So what exactly is so special about this place to begin with? You'll find out soon enough. Come on. Myra beckons me to climb faster, and despite my frozen toes and soaking wet socks, I follow. Ah. What can I say? This place is beautiful, and it takes a lot for someone like me to say that. See, I told you it'd be worth it. I take a deep breath. The hills overlooking the city. It's pretty stunning. Say, is there any reason for that huge tree to be planted here? Actually, yes there is. You can't tell right now, but it's actually a cherry blossom tree. It was donated by a local CEO of a multinational company, and it's been growing here ever since. Huh, pretty impressive. You seem to know an awful lot about this person. Well, I read a lot of books. He's somewhat of a legend in the city too, so it's only natural that I'd know about him. Actually, I think I've heard it before. What was his name? Kennedy? Or was it Kendrick? Leonard Kingsley. Close enough. The company he formed has close ties to East Asia as well. Explains why he chose the cherry tree. Yes, it does. Both a business gesture and a sentimental one. He sounds like a great man. He is. But that last word. But what? You started it. Silence. It's a blessing and a curse. Just think about it. His story is a glamorous one, right? The way he fought against the odds, overcoming his rivals, a tale of human courage and willpower. But what about the people he left behind? Silence. There's a lot of emptiness. Not for him, really, but for the people who weren't there to witness his struggle against the world. Don't worry about it. You're fine now, right? It hurts. There's nothing else to worry about. It's as simple as that. The wind sings its hollow song in silence. But if you want to cry, then it's okay. Cry. Ah, so confusing. Silence. It's alright. I'm fine, really, but thanks for the offer. Her words vanished into the twilight. She sits there mere inches from me, shielded by a glass wall. It's the closest we've ever been, and I've never felt so far. You'll never forget this cold wind and her warm shoulder an inch from mine. It's one of those rare, precious moments when you realize that each passing second is being written as a memory. Okay, so we're done day 4, and I am truly confused as to what is going on here. I don't know if she's from the past, I don't know if she's from the future, I don't even know if this is about time travel. I don't even know if she's sad for that man who basically built a business and yada yada with the cherry blossom tree. I don't think the story's convoluted, but I'm having a hard time grasping hints at where this is going. So hopefully the next episode can fill in some holes for me, and for you as well. So anyways everyone, if you're enjoying Sepia Tears and would like to subscribe, then go ahead and click that button, as well as click the notification bell to be notified when the next Sepia Tears episode comes out. And if you're really enjoying yourself here and you want to support the channel, then check out the links in the description to do just that. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next episode of Sepia Tears, Day 5, Trust. Have yourselves a great day.